Hello everybody, welcome to an overview for Finance 303 for the summer A session 2019. I'm going to go over some highlights, but I encourage you to read the entire syllabus. That is me, Dr. Piloff. I'm the professor for the A session. We will be meeting in class from 10:30 in the morning to 12:35 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Big room, Innovation 103. My office hours, I'll meet after class, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Thursdays before class, and if we need to, we can set something up by appointment. My office is in Enterprise 229. Most of these office hours are usually conducted right in class afterwards. We also have a TA, FNAN, and she is going to have office hours every day of class, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we do not have an exam, from 12:45 to 3 in Enterprise 240, which is the finance suite. So there's a couple of required items. The first, you'll need a financial calculator. I recommend the TI-83 Plus or something out of that family. It's got a nice big screen. We do some basic things, and having that big screen just makes it real easy and straightforward. Maple TA is the platform that we're going to do assignments on. There's a link on Blackboard that'll let you buy it, or you can also buy it in the bookstore. Also, there's a link on Blackboard that'll let you access it to do your assignments. If you've taken this class before, you can reuse your subscription. You don't need to buy a new one. If you're new to the class, you do need to buy a new one. But if you're reusing yours, you got to make sure to register for the current term on Maple TA. Blackboard access, that's where all the materials are. That's the platform that we use. You also need to have your Mason Live, your GMU email account, because I send a lot of emails and a lot of announcements. A big note about this class is it requires understanding, not memorizing. So going through the problems, trying to memorize this, that, the next step, that doesn't help. You have to understand what you're doing while you're doing it. One way to do that is you solve a problem. You're not done. You solved it. Now flip it and pretend you're the teacher, and you try to explain the problem. This is, this is what's going on. This is the information that we're given. This is the strategy we're going to take. This is why this particular thing is irrelevant. This is what we're going to use these numbers to get this, and then that with what else we got we're going to use to get this. And then if you aren't clear on anything, seek help. See me, the TA, course materials, course videos, all the things that we make available, but really focus on understanding. Course grades, it's just a straight up weighted average. So there's going to be 4 tests, and you can see the lowest test score of the 4 gets 10%, the highest gets twice as much, 20, the 2 middle scores get 15. There's a final exam where 25. Then there's some points that are just based on following directions and effort, following directions with the information you give us on tests, 1% for signing up properly for Maple TA, and the grade assignments are over 12. So we're going to take a weighted average, come up with a course average, and that will translate into your grade. A couple of key cutoffs are 69.0, which is a C, which is the minimum grade to successfully complete this course, and a 79 is a B minus, which is essentially what students need if they want to be finance majors. There's going to be 4 exams. They're going to be an hour each. 10 questions. They will be on the first day of every week, except the first week. There will be a relatively short lecture after each test. There'll also be a final. That'll be on June 20th, 10:30 to 1:15. That's the university assigned time. It's cumulative, 20 questions. So we have the five different exams. 2% of your grade is based on making sure you provide us with the correct information. Each exam you'll start with 20 points, and then if you don't fill in the Scantron form info section, there'll be deductions. If you don't correctly fill in the cover page, just give us your name and G number, there's deductions. This is these are easy points. Everybody should get 100. The main reason not to is you're just not paying attention. So we'll guide you through this, and just pay attention that there's 2% that you should definitely nail. Graded assignments. There's 10 assignments, and they are accepted on various days by 11:59. And so what's going to happen is we're going to cover material on a given day. Then the problems related to that material are due 2 days later. But the assignment will continue to accept them until the accepted date. So the accepted date is what you could think of as like the true hard due date. But the reason I have this, I call it the due date, is we really encourage you guys to try to keep up with that so you can stay on top of the material. So you can think of it as, the problems, some of the problems might be due on a particular day, but they can still be submitted with no penalty for full credit up until the accepted date. And the syllabus lays out, when things are covered, when they're due, and when they're accepted. There's 312 total questions that I've written. Each one's worth 1 point. We take the total number of correct over the course of the semester divided by 2.10. We round up to the nearest full point. Therefore, all you need to do is answer 208 of the 312 in order to get the maximum possible score of 100. So there's a lot of slack built in. Therefore, very rare for extensions. You can not answer 104 questions and still get full credit. What happens is we encourage you to answer after each problem. So do a problem, submit, and if it's right, that answer will carry forward and you can have unlimited submissions. If it's wrong, then you just do it again. So you're always starting with all the questions you've already answered correctly previously. There's a scary warning that says, do you sure you want to submit this? Just ignore it and just submit after each problem. This way you'll avoid doing a lot of work, saving it, and then having it lost and you get no credit at all. You guys are allowed and encouraged to work together. Afternoon TA office hours are a fantastic way to get help on these problems. Like I said, really keep up with the material. Try to adhere to due dates. Maple TA registration info counts for 1% of the grade. You go into Maple TA, you'll register for the Summer A 2019 section in Maple TA. You'll write your first name and your last name. And this is really important. Your student ID, that's one of the variables in Maple TA. Make that your Blackboard user ID. That's the thing for your GMU email account. It's the thing that comes before @masonlive.gmu.edu. So for me, it would be SPILLOFF, spill off. The reason is we download these data, we merge them into Blackboard, and then that's how you guys see them. So we need that ID to match. If you do it, you'll get some nice points. Don't use your G number. So student ID is not your G number, it is this ID. Do it early. If you get it done by the 24th, it says 18, that should be 19. If you get it done by the May 24th, you get 130 out of 100, so it's like a little bit of extra credit. If you get it done by the 27th, it's 120. It's still like a little bit of extra credit. June 3rd, which we're already like 2 weeks into the semester, you still would get 100 for full credit, and then the longer you wait, the less credit you would get for simply getting your ID correct. So everyone should be getting really high scores on that. There is one extra credit opportunity. There's a lot of material that's posted. If you find a meaningful error, and I use quotes because we are very liberal, just about everything you would find would be meaningful, you get a small amount of extra credit, typically 1/10 of a point. Blackboard, that's the center of this course. There's course content, that's where all the materials are. There's a syllabus. It's got a really detailed course schedule. It lays out what we're going to cover each day, the slides, the videos, the problems. I think it'll be really useful. Overheads, those are like our textbook. There is no textbook for this class. A lot of practice problems. These test bank problems are very special. That is what the exam is draws from. So basically you'll get an exam that looks a lot like those test bank problems with different names and numbers. They cover everything that you would want to know in this class, and they give you a chance to practice and learn, so when you step in and take a test there will not be any surprises. I mentioned before there's links from Maple TA to buy it and to access the homework. There's a list of video lectures, so the syllabus will tell you each day which ones are relevant. There's a list, and you can actually, the syllabus will have the list also, but the list is just all of them in one document. There's also students who have taken this class, done well, and are interested in being tutors. You can contact them if you're interested and work out any terms as far as when you'll meet, what the rate will be, all that kind of stuff. There's a discussion board. You can post your questions. Hanan or I can answer your questions. And there's announcements on Blackboard. Most of them get emailed. There's just a lot of information I try to provide to you guys on a regular basis. So there's a lot of resources in this class. Lecture, come to class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The afternoon office hours with the TA. The discussion board, a great way to ask questions. Videos, in case you don't come to class or in case there's something you're not quite clear on. A lot of students love the videos because they can watch them over and over and over, especially the parts that they're not clear about. A lot of problems with solutions. The test bank problems capture everything you need to know in this class. And the overheads, again, that's kind of like our textbook. So you have a lot of flexibility as to what resources you want to use. What we have found is that successful students in general find that this class requires substantial effort, so it requires a lot of time. Consistent effort, meaning you can't just say, I'm going to study 20 hours in a row right before the test. It's much better to study a little bit every single day with a focus on understanding. You can't just memorize, you got to understand. So let's have a great summer session. I am excited to get started.